the federal and state investments and appropriations allow us to do the things that we hear from the people of Atlantic City, the business owners, the residents, the other stakeholders. They want a safer and a cleaner community. This budget and the investments in this budget are going to allow the city of Atlantic City to do that.
Yeah, so no, I think this is a game changer. As you know, we put cameras on the boardwalk in 2016. We opened up the surveillance center in 2017, staffed that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with a retired police officer. We have access to over 2,000 cameras now throughout Atlantic City through Project PACT. Our public-private camera sharing initiative stands for Protecting Atlantic City Together. And we have several hundred city-owned cameras, but most of the city-owned cameras are on the boardwalk or in the tourism area. What this is going to allow us to do is put city-owned cameras in the neighborhoods all around Atlantic City. So we're very happy about that. And when I go to the neighborhood meetings, that's always the feedback I get is, Chief, we want to see more investments in the neighborhoods. We love what you're doing with the cameras in the tourism area. We want to see that in our neighborhoods, add that extra layer of safety to our neighborhoods. So we're really happy to be able to do that finally.
My commitment is to the residents of Atlantic City, always have been, always will. The tourism district and everything else is important, but the neighborhoods need to feel safe. And this represents my commitment as your mayor to do the things that needs to be done to represent your interests, to make sure it's continually a great day here in the city of Atlantic City.
I'll give you my own list here. $3 million for energy efficiency improvements across the city's buildings. Improvements that will not only save the city and its taxpayers money moving forward, but which will reduce its carbon footprint, which will have an even longer range impact. And for a coastal city living in the age of climate change, this is meaningful. And separate from this, additional to it, $350,000 you mentioned for the HVAC improvements at the police communications building. There's $1.3 million so the Atlantic City Fire Department can put 2 fire trucks in service to the community. Right here, as Paul knows, the Public Works Department will benefit from nearly $2 million for the equipment it needs. New vacuum and trash trucks, a new street sweeper, and new loaders for use right here at the DPW headquarters to keep not only the streets of Atlantic City clean, but also the iconic boardwalk, which once again has been named, by the way, the best boardwalk in America. And speaking of the boardwalk, this transitional aid will not only allow the city to undertake a $2 million program to replace worn out boards and substructure to keep it safe and welcoming to visitors from across the state and around the world. But it will also close 2 major funding gaps for expanding the boardwalk, improving its accessibility and enhancing its ability to act as a catalyst for economic growth. The first of these projects is along the Main Street Promenade in Gardner's Basin. The other is just a few blocks away at Caspian Point. It will close the $1 million funding gap for the city to move forward on the acquisition and redevelopment of 2501 Pacific Avenue, a key property that will further revitalize not just the boardwalk, but the neighborhood around Jim Whalen Boardwalk Hall. As I noted in my opening remarks, every time I come here, there's something new to see and to do. Our job now, and I think our job, all of us together, is to ensure that this progress continues. This city's success is vital to the success of not just South Jersey, but to be sure, of all of New Jersey.